Here we will discuss about dilation in myocardium that occurs during heart failure and what are the processes that it triggers that might cause or that might aggravate the heart failure condition. So what is myocardium? Let us start with this. It is the muscular tissue of the heart. So whenever the heart failure has occurred, what happens is that it will affect the myocardium first, or it will dilate the myocardium, as we can understand from the logic that uh, during the heart failure there will be disruption in the supply of blood. So that will cause dilation in the myocardium or the muscular tissue and will activate this hyperandrogenic uh, hyperandrogenic state. So what this hyperandrogenic state means that it is the same as the state or the condition in which there is a low supply of blood because the heart is not pumping the blood uh, in a normal uh, condition, like a normal condition. So within the cells, what it will triggers the hyperphosphorylated SR or sarcoplasmic process that is usually responsible for maintaining calcium levels within the cells. So because of this hyperandrogenic state, it will triggers hyperphosphorylated state. It will phosphorylate uh, many. It will phosphorylate it at all the site of SR, and in doing this what will happen is that it will consume calcium. So this hyperphosphorylated SR will triggers or make the condition of the cells that has less amount of calcium, or calcium deficient condition within the cells will will be exist or will starts to form. And another effect because of hyperandrogenic state is the increase in the amount of plasma FFA, or we can call it as free fatty acid. So what happens because of this increase in the amount of plasma FFA? It will continue to increase till it reaches to the level of ACT or acyl carnitine transferase and starts deactivating this acyl carnitine transferase. So what happens because of this? The oxidation of fatty acid will reduce. So this will further increase, or it is the cascade effect, or the cascade effect will get triggered, and the increase in the amount of free fatty acid will rate of increase in the amount of free fatty acid will increased with increased at a faster rate. So, and another thing that will happen is that it will reduce the ATP synthesis. So the energy required uh, for the functioning of the cells will get reduced, and the energy deficient condition will also starts to form. And simultaneously, the regular process of glucose metabolism that uses oxygen will also get inhibited because the increase in the amount of fatty acid will inhibit the PDH, and this will leads to trigger another part of glycolysis, or another pathway of glycolysis, that is anaerobic glycosylation, that is the in which the glucose is converted to pyruvate and then converted into lactate, then it will convert it into glycolysis. So in this pathway it does not require oxygen, whereas in the regular pathway what happens is that glucose will convert it into pyruvate, then the PDH will helps it move into the oxidative phosphorylation uh, state, and this is known as uh, aerobic glycolysis 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 pathway. And this pathway where glucose is converted into pyruvate, then lactate, then glycolysis, this is known as anaerobic glycolysis. And what happens because of this is that glucose metabolism will get inhibited by the regular pathway, and there is a cascade effect of this will continue to increase, such as increase in the amount of free fatty acid with each cycle or with time. Thus, this heart failure will not only with effect of heart failure will not only limited to the heart, but also to the cells, but also to the other part of the area, and even within the cell functioning. It also affects the cell functioning in terms of reducing the reducing the amount of energy that is produced within the cells. So, if you need to understand this thing in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.